What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of the Bison Trading Show. Coming at you live for our Friday morning live trading sessions where we put together everything that we taught you throughout the week and we show you how to add that together cohesively so you can have a successful trading session day in and day out. Once again, if you don't know, I'm half of the Bison Trading Show crew. I go by the name of Ty Trade Futures. And of course, I'm here with my guy.
You already know, man. I'm the D guy, aka Pro Financial, man. I hope you guys have your levels that we went over Thursday and Tuesday, because we about to put it all together and see what the market has to give us, man. So let's just, with enough of the chit chat, and let's jump right on in, man.
All right. So picking up from where we left off last night when it comes to the Dow Jones, we were talking about looking for we established first of all that the overall trend was up. We saw the V pattern reversal, higher highs and higher lows. We eventually end up drawing this zone. D drew this zone from 34,600 to 34,500. We were looking for that to potentially be retested again before we hopped in. Now, this is where we picked up off that last night. We were waiting for prices to come back into that zone, but they weren't able to do so. They never made a pullback. The trend is so strong that the movement just kept moving higher and higher. So now we reevaluate. Remember, our ultimate goal is that 35,000 level. So, hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So, our ultimate goal is that 35,000 level. Right now, we're trading around 880, 890 in the moment right now. So we're on our way to that level. Everything is lining up, higher highs and higher lows. So let's break it down to the 5 minutes to see exactly where we want to hop in today. Because right now, we're in a little bit of a pullback. We had a retracement from about 900, not too much, just down about 25 points to the next quarter level at 875. Now, I've seen this market a lot. Sometimes when the trend is strong, when the market opens, it's not going to go in the direction of the trend because it's going to be a lot of profit taking. So I like to put my orders a little bit down further below. So we can identify this demand zone right here at around 860. We can even push it a little bit further all the way to this lowermost wick at 850. Those are the levels that I'm aiming to get in at and be able to ride this trend up. But if the market opens and the trend is just super strong, I will think about just going ahead and hopping in long. Because one thing about the Dow Jones is that when the momentum is running, we have to take advantage because who knows how long it can last. So overall, it's pretty smooth over here on the Dow Jones. I'm looking for the uptrend. So Darren, what we looking at today?
I'm looking at the good. Let me share my screen. I'm going to definitely pick up on AU, and pretty much the discussion that we had as a recap was that we kind of had this V pattern reversal down here at the 73.1 flat type of area, and that pretty much the first zone was the zone we thought, like, okay, maybe that's the least amount of space it could go. Then we had drew another zone to the top of it, and what I wanted to do was kind of line it up where the top of the box is hidden by this low, and the bottom of the box is hidden by this high. So, when that high and low matches, it's a duality level. So, pretty much what I'm kind of waiting for to happen is either another push up into this zone here, and then that's where the rejection is going to happen. Or pretty much it looks like to me like we look like we got like a little push up, so to say. We hit this top of the blue zone at 73,870. I'm pretty much seeing the market is beginning to weaken as far as it going up. So it's having one, two, three, four, five, at least 5 wick rejections here. So pretty much I'm just kind of looking for it to come down. And what I want to do, I want to be a little bit conservative. So I want to wait for it to come out of the zone and come back up to retest that area or that structure that it broke in. And I'm pretty much trying to look to take it back down, man, because it's just been really such a strong down movement. I think that up movement has already happened. So if we were unable to catch it from down here, or even maybe off of this purple line, I just feel like maybe we've kind of missed out on the up move so far. And that up move is only setting up for us sellers to hop back into the market to bring it back lower. So I'm just kind of looking around this blue zone right here and to see what the market does, whether it breaks up and up out of it, or if it rejects and it comes down below. So that's how I'm going to pretty much play this one. I want to pretty much see it What I would love to see it do is come all the way up to the top up here, and here's where I hop in on my sell. If I can't get in up here, then I'll just wait and see what the market gives me. So that's pretty much how I'm going to play this one so far.
What's the hourly looking like?
The hourly. So I think this is kind of what happened over the last couple of hours, kind of like a push up. It's probably been doing like a up and down type of thing, like in consolidation where it comes up, down, up, down, up, down, up again, up here. But like we said, we never had no momentum to break this up here. So like I said, I can just see this coming up into this area, getting weaker. And then maybe up here, if we can get that clean rejection, meaning like the candle is fully closed and it starts to form down lower, then I would want to definitely capitalize on the sell.
Gotcha. Where's that little double top we was looking at yesterday? I was bouncing off of 50. What chart was that? Or what time? What time?
I don't even know. I think it might have been the 2 hour.
What's the 15 looking like?
Did I look at the 15 yesterday? And what price did you say? I heard you say.
Bring up the 65. Wait, nah. Which one is the green one? Bring up that one.
So this is the 7 and the 65. So let me go to the 4 hour really quick. So the two double top I was talking about was this over here. These two double tops over here to the left. Is this what you were talking about?
There was 2 wicks that made a double bottom that bounced off of a moving average. Check the hours. It might be on that.
Are you sure that I think that was gold, bro?
Nah, that was AU.
Let me see.
This gold was moving down.
Yeah, and AU was moving up. I'm trying to see what time frame you're talking about. You said it was bouncing off of a moving average?
Yeah, it's right there. Hide
that was the 4 hour.
Hide the signal.
Oh, you're talking about this right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, because this is kind of interesting because it did break up above it, and it looks like it's just been kind of going up. It comes up, comes down, bounces off that moving average, comes up, come down off that moving average, and then pretty much like I said, I feel like even with this gap that's big between the 7 and the 65, it would to me, I like over my trading share, I wouldn't be surprised if it came all the way back up here, but I feel like this is a big move to come up here to try to hit before you come back down again. So I don't think it would even get this far. I think maybe somewhere around this area where these lows line up, I can see it possibly coming up and rejecting. Do I have an area right there? Yeah, I do have an area. Let me just put this. Yeah, so it lines right up with the hold up. And pretty much I want this low and the high to line up. Let me have my signals again. So maybe a box from the top of the box is here and the bottom of the box is here. That's what I want to do. All right, yeah, here we go. All right, so pretty much the top of the box, this low sits on the top of the box. In the bottom of the box, this high hits it. So, I mean, we can definitely see it come up into this area and reject and then come down. So, I do feel like like I said, for every down movement, we need a good up movement. So, I don't think it's very far fetched to see it go up a little bit first before it comes back down. So, I think the market is open right now, right?
Yep, about 1 more minute.
1 more minute. Let me grab some water really quick. Hold on, all right?
All right, so on the Dow Jones, we see so far that 875 has held up as resistance. as support so far. And that makes sense because when we follow it to the left, look at what we run into. You know from our market structure class that whenever we're in an uptrend, we like to see those pullbacks come back and retest what used to be previous highs. We had that happen right here. So the market is moving how it's supposed to. But remember, at the open, things get really volatile. So we want to wait to place all of our orders after the open kind of shakes itself out because the market could really go any way. Pre-market activity is a precursor that gives you an idea of what can happen, but it's never guaranteed. So we're about to open in 3 seconds. Let's see what happens. Now, mind you, I'm putting my orders down here towards 860. That's where I want to hop in. Now we're coming down. We're coming down. Let's see if we can hit that. If we do, I want to wait for the bounce because you never just want to buy a falling knife. You want that bounce. Once you get the bounce, then you can go ahead and handle the business. So far we have seen that bounce. We bounce, not by a lot. We always want to wait for that first candle to close because in the open and drive, a 30-second candle, a 1 minute candle, anything can happen when it's 30 seconds left. Once you get that close, then that's our confirmation that we could go ahead and hop in. So everybody that had their orders down there so far, they're in profit. Now let's see if that can continue as the market moves and as we get shaken and moving. Now, this is on the 5-minute chart, so keep that in mind. I want you guys to also, throughout this session, flash to the higher time frames and make sure that you get the whole entire picture. You don't want to focus on one time frame too much because you could get caught up in the moment and forget the longer term trend. So all we need is that bounce. And let's check down on the 1 minute chart. So let's see. Okay. So on the 1 minute, we do have a little bit of a tweeted bottom. That's a good thing. That's what we like to see. Now, once we break past above 875, stay above it and hold that level of support, then that's when I'm going to consider going long because in that scenario, we would have the bounce from the major support level. We would have a higher low that got established, and then we have the green light to go ahead and take that long trade. But until then, you got to just let the market shake itself out. Patience is key. Ounce of the Dow Jones, you make money the more patient that you are. The more impatient that you are, the more the market is going to play with you and take you this way, take you that way, make you take this loss and take that loss. That's not what we want to do.
For sure. Not to interrupt you, but now that I'm looking on a lower time frame, kind of ever since last night, I don't think we were down here last night. Yeah, maybe I think we were maybe here last night or yesterday. Yesterday was the 20th. No, today's the 23rd. So this was all today. Pretty much the point I was trying to kind of make is that we did kind of have like a double bottom or an area where it came down and found a nice floor. And ever since then, it's just been making kind of a higher low and a higher high, higher low, higher high. And it's never had any momentum to come back down to retest levels down here. With this low even here, we got a big push to the upside. And it came all the way back down. So I kind of feel like maybe the up move is still kind of in play, or the retracement, so to say. Just because I really just don't see, not to say I don't see, but I kind of feel like that the down move is kind of over for the moment. And today's Friday, so I just kind of feel like maybe the rest of the day until the market is closed for the weekend, I just feel like maybe it's going to make another up move to try to come back up to retest higher levels. And maybe the beginning of next week is where we can possibly see the market kind of continue to go down where we kind of projected. So I'm going to be open on both sides, but I'm going to keep my eye definitely on the longer time frame for sure. Do you see, what was I about to say? Let me put this to 15. Is that a wick right there? That is a wick. So pretty much I was going to say, do you kind of see how it's like from here, we just been making higher highs and higher lows, but we still never broke these highs up here? I kind of just feel like maybe this could be touched again. But then when you also look at it, when it came up here and did touch this high, it was making lower lows and lower highs. It never came back up here to retest this again. So, like I said, I want to definitely be patient on this one. I know the market just opened just a few minutes ago. And let me go to the 1 minute and let's see what's really been shaking. So if my projection or my guess is right, I think this down move is definitely needed to bring prices up back up higher to try to retest higher levels before it makes its way back down. So I'm gonna kind of keep my eyes on the up for now. Do you see the same thing, or do you kind of would you push it more to the down?
Uh, I'm kind of focused. I'm focused on the Dow Jones. I ain't gonna lie. I just caught a trade.
Oh, you call it trade? So in that case, I'm gonna try to set up for a trade too.
So like I was telling you guys before, we were looking for that bounce off of the 60 level, right? So as you guys were able to see, once we bounced off of the 60, we pulled back up. I waited for that pullback to come back down into that quarter level that we were sitting on all morning long. Once we came into the quarter level, I was able to go long at 34,878. Caught a nice quick up move, took it about 48 points higher to 926. So pretty much from one quarter level to the next. So I took it from the 75 to the 925. Overall, we should be making our way towards that 35,000 level. The only thing I would tell y'all is that don't expect a straight shot. Sometimes in the market, even though we might be moving towards that level, the sellers will come in one last time to push the prices lower before they make that move up to 35,000. So that's something I would definitely focus on and be patient for. But right now, if you're already in the trade and you're still in it and you haven't taken profits, I would just say hold on to it until you see any type of bearish reversal signal. So that could potentially be this bearish engulf, and that might be forming right now. But might is the key word because we have to wait until that candle closes before we say that. But right now, I would say that's probably more of a buying opportunity than it is a selling opportunity. And it's also hovering right above the quarter level at 925. So if you're looking to get into any entries, I would say maybe look for 925 or be more conservative, wait for 34,900. Still within the first 10 minutes of the market opening. So any initial trend that you see could still turn around on the dime in the blink of an eye. So keep that in mind. Now that candle just closed a couple seconds ago, and it is a bearish engulfing. So buyers, y'all need to hold off a little bit. Overall trend is still up, but you got to be patient.
Yes.
Well, my bad. What did you want me to look at for AU?
I wanted to see, but now I definitely got my question answered by just being patient. And I feel like I was using this green line where I sat this green line at a nice duality level where these highs kind of line up with, I guess, this so-called duality or high level. And I was kind of pretty much waiting for it to break, and I finally got that break. So pretty much what I did, I got in at the 73 750. Yeah, at the 73 750. And pretty much I'm not planning to take it down too far. I kind of just feel like maybe we can just hit that bottom level, the bottom of structure where it's been already at before. So yeah, I am now a little bit in profit now. Got 73 750. And I want to see how far I can take it. So I got in at right here 750. Oop. And maybe just possibly just take it to the bottom of structure. But this is the 1 minute time frame, so that's probably like not a lot of pips at all. So yeah, I'm probably just and also too, now that I'm seeing on the higher time frame, maybe it was just coming down to meet that 65. So let's just see how it goes. I'm in for the sell. But I think what I've noticed, what it does is that even if it does come to the 65, it pushes um, down just a little bit, maybe for a fake out or so. But I think this could possibly be our way or a signal let us know that it hit that 65 and now it's trying to make its way up again. So I think I'm going to take profit right here. But it's broken at 65, and I never wanna short myself out or leave any money on the table. So let's see, can we get it to hit the bottom of structure? Let's see. If it does this, I think, shoot, that was a good trade for me. I had my lot size just a little bit bigger, so let's see. Can we hit the bottom of structure? If we get the bottom of structure, I got him from 73, 750 to the bottom of structure. I think, man, that's a good trade for me. And maybe I'll do maybe one more trade for the sake of things. Matter of fact, I'm going to take profit here. I've just learned my lesson so many times, like not taking profit. So I'm going to take profit here. Huh?
What's the reason for taking profit right here?
The reason why I was taking profit here is because, one, when I go to the 15-minute chart, it's hitting right off of that 65 moving average. And this is probably where it usually does either like a little fake out, push down a little bit, but then ultimately it goes all the way back up again. So that's why I want to be very, very careful where we are right now, because that 65 moving average is lining up with some highs over to the left, and even some, yeah, on all the way over to the left, even so. So I think it could definitely probably make its way back up again. Would you let it ride out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't see no signals in the market that say it's going up for any time soon until it hits the supply zone. I mean, the demand zone right here.
Yeah, got you. I see what you're saying. Maybe that's just me panicking. Not panicking, but I just learned my lesson so much. Like when I'm in profit like that, like just take profit. Like you can't lose.
Just move your stop up to break even. Just let it ride.
All right, let me move my stop. Let me move my stop to 73, 750, and just let it rock out.
Cool. But that's kind of tight though.
That is like, kind of. That's what I'm saying. That is kind of tight, bro.
It's in a position where it's like you opened it and you in profit now, but it's not really enough to move the target back, because it's gonna come back and test your entry.
It definitely is.
If you're trying to avoid that, you're not gonna be able to.
Yeah, and like I said, when I go to the 15-minute and it's just bouncing clean off of that 65, it usually doesn't go any bit lower than a 65. Even that wick that formed at the bottom, this was probably enough for it to be like, yo, we hit our 65, let's go back up now. But the overall trend is, I believe, still down. Yeah, the overall trend is still down. So like you said, there's really no things that's kind of pointing to it going up. I think, like you said, it's definitely going to come back up and hit and retest my entry. So maybe I should put it at the top. That's a lot from where my entry was. I got at 73, 750. So say if I put my stop up here. Oh, that's not that bad. So maybe I should put my stop at the top up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do 73875. Make that my entry. So yeah, I took profit on one, and I'm gonna let the other one rock out. But yeah, I would have to definitely agree with Tiberius. He said that there's really nothing point of it going to a buy right now. That I just need to let it rock out. Because for the most part, the overall trend is still down. And I think, like I said, on the higher time frame, is like, if we're not even going to see any of these highs over here being broken, there's no sign of it going up. Until we get the break of some of these highs, these rejections that we had to the left, until that gets broken, I would really have to kind of stay on the side of the short. And also what kind of sticks out to me too is when we got this push all the way up to the top, we hit that zone that I kind of spoke about. It hit it off of a wick, and now it looked like it's just pushing down, which would make sense. So I'm going to kind of let that one rock. I maybe would jump in probably for one more trade and see what's good. But for the most part, I definitely took profit on one trade, which is good. So yeah, I'm going to listen to Tiberius on this one and kind of let that one ride out. I may even add on to my position, but I just kind of feel like it's not gonna go. If I was to continue to take it down, I would only want to take it back down to these lows right here where it was at before. I wouldn't want to kind of take it any lower than that. So kind of where. And let me see where we are right now. That's not no pips at all. So I'm definitely just going to keep my stop tight for sure. See how many pips that is from there, from where we are now to there. Yeah, possibly like a good little 20. But honestly, since the overall direction is down, I wouldn't mind seeing it come all the way down here to this level over here, where all this is blank. So yeah, I'm still in profit. What's going on with the Dow Jones though?
Well, so far, let's see.
And like you said, bro, that definitely retested my entry.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, bro. That's why I was just like, I gotta have my stop sitting at the highs up here because my entry is going to be retested.
So on the Dow, we tried to make that move towards that 35,000 level, but a lot of times it's not going to be a straight shot up to a major level like that. There will be a second pullback, which pushes prices lower that the sellers implement into the market. So that's what we're seeing right now. We had that bearish engulfing when we last left off, and after the bearish engulfing, of course, we saw lower prices. And then look at what happened. We created a lower high along with a long tail candle wick. We know that those two things combined together coming after a bearish engulfing usually leads to lower prices. So we've seen the first lower high. We pushed lower. We just did. We made not a new low, but a new low in terms of us breaking this consolidation at 895 around 34,900. So we're really just coming back to our original entry point from where the market opened. Now, this should be very important because if the buyers are in the market, they should find a little bit of demand down here at 875 and push prices back higher up until that 935,000 level. But if that doesn't happen, then I would pretty much say that we had a false touch, meaning that we tried to hit 35. They really did try. But if they were unable to do it, that means that it's just not enough buyers in the market who believe that the prices could really go that high. So in the meantime, the sellers are going to take back over. Now, eventually, 35,000 will get hit. So for my long-term traders, you should feel comfortable going ahead and maybe if you're already in a position, add into it at 875, maybe 850-ish, getting another, extra contract on so you can hold it up to 35,000 and really capitalize off that movement. But for my short-term traders here right now, you got to respect the short side and what they have going on right now. Until we see a higher low, we can't really think about going long unless you consider yourself a value trader and you want to go long off of the demand zone for a quick scalp. But until that happens, we get that higher low, there's not much we can do. Now, in order for us to have a higher low, we need to see some type of bullish candlestick formation. So if we can see prices stay above 880, you see what they've done right here. They came back up to test the previous wick. If they break above it, close above it, stay above it, that right there is a very good signal. But one thing I know about big blocky consolidation areas like this that we've seen from 937 to 944, this entire box, let me go ahead and actually box that up for you guys so you can see. Whenever you have a consolidation area like this, it's going to be hard for the market to just run past that level. The reason for that is that prior to prices actually trying to push past that, we see what's happened at that area. There was a lot of back and forth between the buyers and the sellers. That's why we see so many long wicks within this formation. It's a lot of indecision. So it's going to be unlikely that the buyers are just going to push past that area again. It's probably going to take a few minutes, a couple of candles for the build-up to happen, and then we push past that level if we can push past that level. But on the same note, we always tell you guys about the breakout reset. So if this is the consolidation zone and then prices broke down below. Now they're coming back up to retest it. We should expect that downtrend to continue. So I think we're at a very interesting point in the market right now. So let's look at the higher time frames to see if they support what we're kind of looking at. And on the higher time frames, I wouldn't say that it's as clear as it is on the 1 minute, but you could really argue both sides. You have two long tail wicks right here that are forming a very strong demand zone. But at the same time, you have a bearish engulfing, followed by a long tail candle wick, followed by more downside momentum. So it's like, which one do you really want to choose? So now is a situation where one of our lessons that we taught you, the lesson about patience and being a patient trader in the market, now it's time to utilize that information and actually apply it. You want to wait until the market gives you clear signals. Don't want to anticipate, because when you anticipate in situations like this, the market could definitely hit you with a loss real quick before you can even think or before you can blink. So we want to make sure that we follow the trend and we don't hop in too early. So right now we're seeing prices break past that last low. That's a good thing. That means that the sellers are definitely back in motion. We had the retest from the breakout area, and from that point forward, we've been moving down. So I like the sell momentum right now. Let's see how far the sellers can take this thing down. If you're a buyer, definitely be patient right now. Maybe think about taking a quick scalp if this momentum keeps moving like this.
All right, so just to kind of like jump right on in right after Tiberius, kind of look exactly where the market kind of turned around at. Tiberius was absolutely right. It retested my level at 73,750. Had that little play around for like a couple of minutes, 1, 2, 3, like 3 minutes. It played around in that area. From there, am I sharing my screen? You can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So ever since we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 minutes, it was trying to decide, did it want to continue up or did it want to just come back down? And Tiberius was like, he said, he was so right. Like, it's going to come back up and retest my entry at the 73,750. I definitely wanted to make sure I had enough room for the market to breathe because definitely didn't want to get stopped out on a good opportunity. So I feel like maybe this was a kind of like a perfect entry. This would be I took profit on the first trade. I have 2 active trades right now. I mean, if we can get it down to come back down to structure or even to the bottom of the box, man, that'd be 3 great trades for me. All W's, no losses, and I think that'd be a great Friday so far to start off with, man. Let's move it to the 3. I ain't got no waffles, yo. I ain't mean to switch this topic right now, but I ain't got no waffles in the crib, bro.
What?
I got no waffles in the crib, bro.
Hey, need some Egos.
No egos, bro. Oh, so this is what I was pretty much trying to say, bro. Like, so on the 15, I think you can see it. It's bouncing off that 65, bro. But the next candle is kind of, well, I want to say the next candle looks like it's trying to either create a way for it to come back down to retest this, or that the 65 is exactly where it wanted to go, and now it's trying to go back up now. So yeah, I feel like I was kind of right in a sense, where it came right down to that 65, but it's only gonna just do like a little green candle, but it's gonna continue back down because, like you said, Tiberius, there's no really sign of it going down. And I feel like if it is gonna go back up, it did what it did. It's gonna go back up to retest my entry, which it did. And now once this candle finished forming out, we have 5 more minutes for this candle to kind of finish. But let's go over to the 5 minute. So as you can see, look, we got that little push back up. So we got that retracement back up to my entry. But depending on how this candle is going to finish forming and close, will let me know, is it going to continue to come back down to the bottom of this box? Or is it like, nah, bro, you got your sell. You should have took profit when you seen it, and I should have got out. So, like I said, I still have my stop kind of up here. But like I said, I definitely still feel confident on the short. But it's just something about that 65 moving average, bro. It's like I can't kind of get over it, how it's just bouncing right off of it. And it does, and it seems like it does that. Like it comes up, let's just say for this one, let's just use this as an example. I went up, came down, came up again, and it bounced off these moving averages. So it comes up, and it looks like it does that. So I mean, I can definitely see it maybe come back down to retest these levels here, but maybe I should have definitely got out at the bottom down here because now I feel like this is a low, this is a higher low, this is a high, this is a higher high. You know what I mean? So you say you don't see nothing pointing to the upside, right?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, it's gonna bounce off the 65 for a small period of time, but that's where the patience game comes in.
So you don't think that these higher highs and higher lows that formed here, excuse me, has anything to do with it beginning to move up ever since the
Yeah, I respect those. But based on the candle that I saw that took prices into that 65, I expect prices to continue moving down. But of course, the 65 is important because if you look at the 65, it's right around that quarter level at 73.75. So
mm-hmm.
it's very rare that it's just gonna run through that price right there. It's gonna bounce, but eventually the sellers are gonna lose momentum. I mean, the buyers are gonna lose momentum, and the sellers are gonna step right back in and be like, "All right, y'all, we back.
Yeah, like y'all
Let's push
ready?
this down."
Cool. So yeah, so in that case, I don't really feel so, you know, uh, I'm trying to think of the word. I don't feel so guilty about kind of leaving it in where I should have kind of took profit because, like I said, I do feel like these higher highs and higher lows are kind of pushing up, but we cannot veer away from the mere fact that the overall trend of this pair is down. Until it starts to break levels up here is when we can even begin to think about buying, but it found a nice little ceiling. And now, like Tiberius said, I can definitely see him coming it down to this blue zone to the furthest. I don't really see it coming down this low. It's very possible, but I would definitely just want to just take it to this blue zone and that's it. So, and what Tiberius said, he was right. It should be playing off of that area and should be moving down. And I feel like if we can get a break of this low over here to the left, I feel like this area down at the bottom would definitely be valid to hit. But I don't think I would take it any further than that. That's just me personally. I mean, you can definitely do whatever you like, but um, I just definitely want to make sure I get out at the right areas, take my profit and go. Because no one has ever lost any money taking profit, but I can definitely name hundreds of people that lost money by not taking profit. So I think once you get to the bottom of the zone, I think I want to take profit and just get on that out of there. Come on, baby. Oh yeah.
All of my Dow Jones traders, y'all need to be looking for the next quarter level to be hit. Usually the Dow Jones, when it's trending like it's trending right now today, in a strong trend, it likes to move from major quarter level to major quarter level. So that would be moving from 35,000 back down to 34,750. We didn't hit 35,000 exactly, but we came close enough. We were only 50 points away. So that next quarter level would definitely be important. We're already about to push through the 800 level. So the next level after that would be 750. So for all of my bulls, if you're looking for a long position to take prices back up to 35,000, I think that 34,750 would be a great spot to start looking for that trade. Once you see a higher low off of those levels, you should be good to take it. So right now, all my sellers, y'all should be capitalizing in the market right now. I told y'all once you bounced off of that consolidation zone that we drew before and we made a new low, it's pretty much all hands on deck for the short seller.
Agreed. Agreed. How many trades you took today, bro?
That's one.
This one.
Yeah, I think with that one, I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna take it because my overall bias is to the upside. I caught the upside movement when it was there. I caught my 50 points from that, and then the sellers just took back over. I'm still leaning towards the buy side, but I see that the sell movement is very strong in the market, so it's just not a spot for me to take any more trades, at least not for the moment. It's not my time yet, so I'm just chilling. I'm not trying to force anything.
Facts.
But all my sellers out there, it's your time. It's your time to shine. Do your thing. Friday, close the week out the right way.
Absolutely. And know when and know when to kind of call it a day. If you definitely up, you won 3 or 4 trades, man. I would definitely advise just go ahead and take what that market gave you and just kind of call it a day. Because at least for me, I've definitely noticed when you over trade and you become quote unquote kind of greedy, is when you'll begin to make silly mistakes, making silly trades, knowing you shouldn't have taken that trade. And you only probably took that trade because you won your last 3 or 4 trades. So, like I said, I think you should just, give yourself like 3 or 4 trades to take. And if you won on all 3 trades or all 4 trades, I feel like once you close out those trades, I feel like you should definitely be done for the day. Because greed will definitely take over, and it takes over in no time, like no time. So definitely, guys, if you're up, um, in 1, 2, or 3 trades, kind of like Tiberius said, he took his one trade, but understand that one trade was a great trade. Like, it wasn't just any like regular trade. Like, he got like 40 something points off of one trade. So definitely make sure make it count for sure. And was it how many points was it you said you got? 40,
48.
48. That's almost 50.
So sellers right now, you're seeing prices bounce off of a major level of supply. The supply zone was established when we made this higher wick right here at 860. You follow that to the left. Notice how it lines up with that last low. That's the area that we started from when the market first opened. So all of these things kind of flow together and make one cohesive story as long as you're paying attention to what you're seeing. So we had a bounce up to 850, right? And notice how the supply zone also lines up with a major quarter level, the 850. We know that those prices are always important in the market. And if you're looking for sell entry, those are some of the best prices to take them from. Those quarter levels always prove to hold up day in, day out, session after session, week after week. So I would say that if you're in the short right now, you could definitely probably see it come back to around 800. And then I would say not take profits exactly, but definitely reevaluate. Make sure that the market is still offering you a good deal before you decide to continue to hold on. Because, like Darren said earlier, don't be greedy. Take what the market can give you. When we're in a trade, it's easy to say, "Ooh, I got 50, I can get 60. Got
Mm-hmm.
60, I can get 70." You gotta
Mm-hmm.
call it attention.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing lasts forever.
Exactly. And I feel like, and if you catch the market at a good time when the market opens, how me and Tiberius we get on right before the market kind of opens, the stock market that is, because forex has already been open. I think once you set your position and get in that direction, I feel like you should just go ahead and let it run, but understand that it's going to have bumpy rides. But come noontime, you should kind of take your profits around that time, because I know at noontime, all the corporate people they're taking their lunches, they're just kind of chilling, and when they get back, they don't really want to do much. Nothing really kind of happens between that time, but that last hour of trading, which it always takes some type, whether it goes the other way for a little bit or it really makes that push back down. But definitely make sure you take your trade kind of before your take profit before noon, just because kind of the rest of the day is going to be slow, and that last hour is pretty much is when it's going to be the next dance. So I'm just pretty much going to take this back down to structure, and then I'm probably just going to call it because I had one great trade before that, and I'm still kind of, am I still in profit? I'm a little in profit, not as much, but did I delete that short little thing with the red and the green thing? Did I delete that? I don't even know. I think I did. 73750. Yeah, I definitely did delete it. Why did I delete it though? I want to kind of really see where my entry was, and it's still like right up here, 750. So yeah, still in profit, but not as much. And you know, I feel like something about this wick right here at the bottom could possibly be like that good enough hit. Like, yo, we hit the bottom of it, bro. So I shouldn't expect it to come any lower. But if this is telling me correctly with these rejections, we're definitely going to get the retest of this bottom right here. And this here is where I'll take my take profits. So I would definitely like for it to hit before we kind of end our live trading session this Friday morning. Let's just kind of see how it plays out. Now, let me put this back up there, actually. I mean,
All right, sellers. Got an opportunity on the Dow Jones. We're coming back into that supply zone. If we hit 850 and we see rejection, think about going short from there.
I don't mean to swerve the combo, but yo, what should we eat for breakfast, bro?
Some water. Had a little water sandwich.
Oh nah, I need something with some substance, my boy. I can't do that.
I'm eating these trades. That's what I'm eating for breakfast. I'm eating the Dow Jones.
My boy my boy said he eating a Dow Jones this morning.
I caught the 48 wing piece special combo.
And you full, huh?
I'm satisfied.
My boy said he's satisfied off the 48 pointer, huh?
All right, sellers, we're at 850. It's not time to short quite yet. You don't want to short into momentum coming into any level like this. Never want to just short because it hits your price. You want to see it hit your price, then you want to see rejection and confirmation. Just hitting your price, that's the first level. That makes you say, oh, okay, it's time to keep my eyes open and get focused because the trade could be coming up. So wait for some type of bearish price action before you start to go short at this 850 level. All right, so we're seeing the bounce so far. We want to see how this candle closes, though. Don't get sucked in by the movement within a candle while it's still forming because it could definitely fake you out very easily. Dow Jones is a monster when it comes to faking you out. It could make you think it's going down and then go 30 points the other direction in about 3, 4, 5 seconds. So be very patient. If anything, I would suggest that all of my sellers wait for prices to maybe either come back up to this last low at 860. We talked about that before, or come back up to retest the original breakout zone from 34,900 before you think about that short trade.
So yeah, I definitely believe what Ty is definitely saying. Listen to that guy because I'm telling you, he's right in what he's saying. Because even just looking at what my little things flash back over to the 15, you guys can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Tiberius was absolutely right when he said like definitely be patient because we can definitely see this market right here kind of break that 65 moving average. Like I said, I was kind of nervous that this was going to bounce right up off of it and continue to go up. But just being patient and just waiting for it to play out. And also, I wasn't actually too worried about it because, like I said, when I go to a higher time frame, ever since all these multiple wick rejections at the top, it's just been pushing down. So until it even breaks this is when I even begin to think about for the buy or it flipping the other way. But right now, we're still in that down movement. So, like Tiberius said, I'm going to be patient, just let it rock one out, and I'm going to know when to take profit. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Hold on, all right, guys.
All right, so let's look at this Dow Jones and let's see how it's moving. But first, let's look at one of the pairs. Well, not pairs, but one of the financial instruments we were looking at last night. We were looking at DPZ, Domino's Pizza. So let's see what it's looking like today on the daily chart. So after we had that big huge move yesterday, we're down a little bit, down about 2%. So that's understandable. You have a big move like that, especially on higher volume.
What did you leave? You just left the long lasting? Where? Okay. I in that one pills there from yesterday. I still left in there, and I put one long lasting to the side too. All right, bye.
Let's see. Let's actually do some volume analysis. The last time the volume was actually this high was way back here when prices were down 7% back on the earnings report that came out October 8th last year, 2020. That's the last time volume was that high. And you see what happened once volume kind of spiked up right there. We consolidated for a little bit, but eventually the trend that was associated with the volume down movement that eventually continued all the way until March of 2021. So from October to March, that's from 10 to 3, that's 5 months where we're just in a very strong downtrend. And that's what volume can kind of indicate to you. It tells you which way the market wants to move. Now, it's not the end all be all where it's like, okay, we got a high volume spike, it's time to buy now. Because it might not work for you in the short term. But over the long term, it's pretty much telling you that this is the way that this is the way that market participants want to push the market. So overall, I would say by the end of the year, we should definitely be higher than 550, which was the highest all-time price that we established yesterday. And don't be surprised today if you see Domino's actually turn back around and end this day in the green. So maybe people will look at this as a potential pullback because it was at 540 yesterday. Now you can get it at 530, maybe 520.
I don't want to. I hate interrupting you. I wish it was a better way I can kind of say something. I hate doing that shit. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, let him finish, please, let him finish. But I actually what I wanted to say was like, notice how like that red candle. I've been seen multiple times where it had such that up movement. We've said 1,000 times, no, it's not going to come all the way down to that gap or that high down lower. It's not going to come down there to retest that area. And multiple times I've seen it come down to that gap or that high and then make its way up again. So that's where I kind of just wanted to point out.
So that could potentially happen today. So you guys keep that on the docket and keep that in mind. Gaps usually do have a tendency to get filled. In situations where the momentum is super strong, they might not get filled for a long time. So let's keep that in mind. We want to view both options. We either want to see it continue higher or maybe pull back to better prices before 80. I don't know.
I'm not going to say do you see because this is the market and it can do anything. What's the probability you think that it's going to come back down into that gap before that big push up of that green zone? What do you think?
I would probably say 20%.
20%?
Because right now, if it was a move where it was just random and it was just a random update for no specific reason, I would definitely give it more of a chance to come back down to these levels. But in this scenario, it was a fundamental catalyst behind this big, huge movement. They came out with the earnings yesterday. They killed it. They crushed it. They beat expectations. So people are very excited in this market right now, and they want to get a chance to kind of, get a slice of the pie. They say, oh, y'all did what? Y'all made how much money? oh yeah, I want to buy some stock over there in Domino's. Doesn't like pizza, right? So I would say because it's a news event, fundamental event tied behind it, it definitely gives it a better chance to keep running. Because I could show you guys a scenario where that actually happened. The same thing happened with Nike a couple of weeks back. So we see Nike had an earnings report that came out on June 24th, and we can see how much they gapped up by. On this one specific day, they gapped up by 15%. That's very similar to what Domino's just did. Domino's was up, I think, 12, 13% yesterday. So very similar move. And if we compare what happened with Nike, they had a big movement on a good earnings report that beat expectations. And look at what happened after that period. Did we also have higher volume at that period? We did. So that tells us which way the market wants to move. And from that point forward, we just saw the market move higher and higher and higher. And it's continuing still to this day to move higher. But notice that candle that formed the day after the big momentum. It was a red candle. But that was the last red candle for weeks. So it's not guaranteed that Domino's runs the same way because these are two different stocks. But we can kind of draw parallels in the market by comparing it to other things we've seen in the past before. So it'll be interesting to really see how Domino's plays out. We'll come back in a couple of weeks and do another analysis and see where we're at.
I know there was something I think I might want to talk about. I think it was Bitcoin I kind of wanted to look at today because I think the last episode, Ty Bear says I was getting his bag, but we talked about Bitcoin on Tuesday. And what I pointed out was that it finally broken below that 30,000 level. We broken down below and it came back into the 20s. But I think ever since then, it's just really been plopping back up. And I think where we were, what was last Tuesday's date? Today's Friday. Tuesday was the 20th. So obviously we was down below the 30,000, so it had to be somewhere below this green line, this purple line over here. But kind of notice how it pushed back up again. But let's look at this at a bigger time frame. Let's kind of see like what can we expect from Bitcoin moving forward. And actually, I can definitely see Bitcoin starting to make its way up because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen on either the news or Instagram or something where Tesla is now still going to think about taking Bitcoin as a payment, even though it has dropping down so low past the 29 and the 30,000, that they were still going to consider taking Bitcoin as a form of payment to buy a Tesla. And he mentioned something else about the Bitcoin. I can't really think of it right now, and I don't want to just guess and just say anything, but I know for sure he mentioned that he was going to try to make Bitcoin a form of payment to buy Tesla. Let's go to the daily real quick. And I think these were the levels I kind of talked about, and I think what I said was, even though this Bitcoin has dropped literally more than 50% of its gains, so to say, that we were kind of looking for the market to reach up to that 70,000, but it had no plans or even going to the 70,000 really. And honestly, once, like I said, I think I even wrote it down here. Once it broke in these little lower areas down here, I felt for sure that it was going to have enough momentum to come back down to that green zone. And where are we right now? Right in that green zone. So I feel like with Elon Musk really trying to push it the other way, I can definitely see it starting to go back up now, just because breaking down below 30,000 was definitely prime area for buyers to hop back into the market. And that the last time it was down below 30,000, where were we when the Bitcoin was down below 30,000? We was in the year 2020 when we was below 30,000. And understand 2020 was a very, very crazy year for everyone. So I think being that it's coming into this green zone here, I definitely want to see it, have that multiple wick rejections, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I really want to start seeing Bitcoin move back up and kind of regain some of those losses that it took in literally over 6 months, because it's literally been dropping since May. May of this year, but it's May, June, July, 2 months. In 2 months, it has dropped in nearly, I think I was actually right, 50%. Yeah. And literally in 2 months, it's dropped 50%. I don't think it's very far fetched for it to regain those earnings, but I just really feel that with Elon Musk saying certain things on Twitter and stuff like that, it could be trying to find momentum to go back up again. So, what was the two? I'm gonna kind of talk about these two areas that I wrote. 32,780. Where's that at? 32. So I think 32,780 is somewhere around here. Let me draw the line there. So that is as low and as high as, I think it might be right here into that box, I bet. 35,725. So yeah, I was right. So it's anywhere between this from down here to up here. So yeah, I would definitely want to see the market come and try to break up above this box. This little high area where it sticks out right here. Then I would probably feel comfortable. But I just feel like with such a strong down movement, I would really need to see some real big things happening with this before I even consider going in for the buy. And I would need at least this to be broken first, and both of the moving averages to be broken. Then is when I'll probably be able to think about hopping in for the buy. But yeah, man, I think Bitcoin is not dead. I don't think it's dead in no such way, form, or fashion. But I do feel like what it has, being that it has broken down below the 30,000, I mean, this will give buyers like myself a good opportunity to try to get in, because mind you, we were close up at 70,000, and we came all the way back down below 30,000. So these areas and these prices down here are very, very strong demand zones, and we just want to kind of keep our eyes peeled. We kind of hit the bottom of it, and now we're kind of pushing back out of it. So, Ty, what you think about it? What's your thoughts on this?
Man, that's one of the various charts I've seen in a long time. Actually, one of the setups that leads to a bigger down move where it's a situation where you have a demand zone that's been important before. We know 30,000 was super important, not only now, but like you said, in the past, in 2020. And then I think to go back to like 2019 too, it's been important. Or it might have been 20,000, but we know these levels are super important. So a lot of people are going to try and hold out for hope and say, okay, well, it's at 30 now, so it's Bitcoin. It has to bounce. But when you look at the chart, it's just continuing to move down. It's formed a little bit of a consolidation zone above 30,000. Mm-hmm. So it seems like the sellers are really just kind of chilling out. They had a big move. They used a lot of energy. They're like, man, I need a break before I start up again and keep continuing to push prices down. And if we look, we see just lower lows, lower highs. I haven't seen a higher low on the chart since May. It's like, yeah, if you can wait for, I would say for all my people out there trading it, for a short scalp, I would say wait for a big day where you got a big up move in Bitcoin, and then short as much as you can, because more than likely the downtrend is going to continue until we have higher lows. The chart is the chart. I love Elon. I like what he's doing. I appreciate him participating in Bitcoin.
Nah, I'm gonna come right out and say it, bro. Like, yo, he's not licensed. He's not none of that, bro. And I'm like, it's not right that he's able to even speak on certain things and allowed to say certain things that even his voice is so powerful to where it's like he can tweet one thing and it can turn a whole market around. And I hate that about him, like that he has that much power. Like he can tweet from his bedroom, he can tweet from him taking a dump on the toilet. He can just make a tweet anywhere and it'll really affect how the markets move. And some of us small time traders like myself get hurt when people like him do stuff like that. And that really makes me mad. That's why I'm talking so loud and my whole mood changed. Is because, man, he's not even licensed. He's not specialized in finance. He's not specialized in crypto. He's not specialized in nothing. He's just a guy that owns a company, and happily that company is one of the most valuable companies in the world. And I guess people listen to him because he has money. But everyone knows money doesn't make you smart. Money doesn't make you real. Money doesn't make you licensed to talk about anything. I'm sorry, guys. Let me bring it back down. I'm sorry, guys. I was just kind of passionate about that because it's just like I had to bring it back down. I'm sorry, but yeah, guys, I just don't like that this man has that much power to even say something, and it literally changes the whole direction of a pair. Like, actually, before we even, you have anything else to say to this? Because I want to actually flash over to one more thing before we kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, so the last thing I kind of want to flash back over to is Doge. Let's look at Doge. I know we haven't talked about Doge in a while. Is it this one or is it this one?
I think it's this one.
This one?
Yeah, I think they're both the same.
So my question to you is, oh no, you're right. So if I'm not mistaken, Elon Musk spoke on Dogecoin, I believe somewhere when it was up here, or maybe right around here. And he said something stupid, and then ever since then, it just pushed it all the way back down. But where we are right now, I don't think it's completely out of question that it can be start making its way up again. I just feel like maybe with his whatever he said about the Dogecoin, I don't even think I even watched that episode of Saturday Night Live. I was just so like shocked that this man started talking about something he had no idea of what it is, and then literally after he said that, Dogecoin lost more than half of its earnings that it made. More than half. We're not gonna go all the way down here, but let's just say here about half of its earnings that it's made. And the only reason why I bring up Dogecoin is because he was one of the people or one of the advocates for Dogecoin, and he's really just been going back and forth between talking about Doge and Dodge. Excuse me, I said Doge and Dodge. Between Bitcoin and Dogecoin. He recently spoke about Bitcoin. That's why I think, in my opinion, I think that's why it fell so low because he's spoken on it again and haven't been speaking about Dogecoin in a while. So, um, so yeah, I think for the most part for Bitcoin, I think the buy is definitely going to happen, but I just feel like we definitely want to be patient because I just feel like for some reason it's not done going down just yet, and that it's definitely really just trying to hit much stronger demand zones, even though it's sitting right on it right now, a very strong demand zone. It would just be crazy if it even came down as low as down here or even at the highs up here. So, is there anything else I need to say on this? Nah, I don't have anything else to say much on this, but I just really wanted to I just really wanted to point out that Dogecoin one lost 50% of its earnings. Two, that is broken down below the 30,000. It's now above the 30,000 now, but I think the last time when we spoke about it, it was below. And we definitely just want to be patient and kind of see if it still has more momentum to continue to go down, or this was definitely the best area for buyers to come back into the market to try to at least recover some of those losses that it taken over the course of 2 months. April, May, June, July, 3 months. So yeah. that's just pretty much my point on Deutsch. Excuse me, Bitcoin. Do you see? Oh, let me flash back over to AU because we definitely look like we might have broken some areas. Tiberius was absolutely right. That's why I'm glad. I got my boy on. I got this boy on my team. My boy be right. He be like 8 out of 10 times correct, maybe more than that. AU. So I think, like I said, where was I? Was it the 1 minute or the 5 minute? So yeah, like I said, I wanted to take profit right here at the bottom of this box, but like Tiberius said, there's really no sign of it going uh, up. And like I said, my entry was 73,750. So right around here. And like I said, I definitely wanted to see it come all the way down. I'm definitely in props. I'm not gonna say super profit, but I'm in great profit right now. So I definitely got 3 trades, all profit, no losses today. So Ty, one more thing before I kind of move on. Maybe we'll move on to close. But where do you see this going? Where would you want to take profit on AU?
Go to the 1 minute.
Hold on. Oh, let me straighten it out. Well, I gotta say this one thing, yo. Lemon tea, bro, in the morning, bro, is the best thing, bro. Lemon tea, bro. In the morning, life. Life after death, bro. So, okay, I got it on the minute. So, where do you see it taking profit now?
All right, let's go back to the 15.
To the 15 or the hour?
The 15. And hide your signal.
Because I'm almost kind of thinking about possibly taking profit right now. But like I said, I don't want to leave all this good money on the table. And I want to teach the people that, you don't want to leave any money on the table.
Well, yeah, I would take profit because I think the blue zone you were looking to take it at before was around like 73.67, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's at 73.65. It's past your zone. It hits your price. It's time to go ahead and take it. Now,
Take it, bet I'm gonna take it.
it's definitely probably gonna keep running after you take it, but that's beside the point. We had a target, it hit the target, we cashing out.
Mm-hmm. And like I said before, I can name hundreds of people that never lost money by taking profit. But I can definitely give you a whole encyclopedia of names of people who lost the money because they did not take profit. You can never lose by taking profit. Even though it might continue down, that's where you got to control your greed. So out of my 3 trades that I took today, it were all great trades. I got 3 in the profit trades. Great trades, actually. And we actually did all that within a good hour time frame. And Ty only took 1 trade today, and that was his highest probability trade of the day. And I think that's why he's not going to take any more because that was the highest probability trade he's seen today. Is that true?
Yep, I'm in and I'm out. I caught mine. I'm good.
That's it. He good. So yeah, man, we had such a great session today. I appreciate you guys for pulling up on us today, man. I know sometimes the mornings could be a little rough to try to catch our show, but trust, we always save our shows and it goes right onto Twitch and on our YouTube. So with that said, man, I really appreciate everybody pushing up for us. Oh, matter of fact, before I even get into that, Ty, you have anything you want to say to people or want to go over thing before I begin to wrap up?
No, I would just emphasize patience, sticking to your strategy. Yesterday, I told you guys in Traders Talk that no matter what anybody else tells you in the market, you got to stick to your own guns. Listen to what people have to say, but view it through your own perspective of how you see the market. And at the end of the day, make your own decisions based on all the information that's present and do your best.
Right. So with that said, man, I appreciate y'all, man. And I think there is something I do want to say before I just be hitting my mind and it just goes away. Oh my God, I hate when that happens. But I know I definitely want to say When it comes to this, man, definitely try to find patterns and trends, because even in everyday life, man, everything has a trend, everything has a pattern. And if you can recognize those patterns and trends, man, things are easier to see whether you're buying or you're selling, or you just need to make a decision. But understanding how to look at trends and what trends mean and certain patterns mean is everything. And I'm pretty sure even in day-to-day life, you can find an example of a trend or a specific pattern of things. So understand the things that we go over, I'm pretty sure can definitely be translated into everyday life. Knowing when to buy, knowing when to sell, really highlighting supply and demand zones type of thing. So creating a strategy tailored for you is definitely one of the most important parts, I should say, about this trading. Like I told you, my strategy is kind of circled around these moving averages. When they don't align on the higher time frames, I kind of typically don't take those trades, because I notice when they do align on the higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily, those trades are the most high probability trades, and they typically go in my way. Ty, you got anything else you want to say to the people? Leave with the people.
Nah, just make sure you guys follow us on all of our platforms. You know, we are just building our library day by day, including today. We'll have some more up there on YouTube. So make sure you check us out on all of those platforms. Bison Trading Show. Let me bring it up for you guys.
Yeah,
We
let
are
the people
live
see,
right
man.
now on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube. So are
And
you sure?
then you guys can make sure you follow me on my personal page is Ty Trades Futures on Instagram and on YouTube. I have content over there talking about trading the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. So if that's something you're into, go ahead and check that out. Pure price action trading, moving one moving average and volume analysis. That's how I like to break it down and get to it. So yeah, man, you can follow D on his pages
At I'm the D guy at INDGUY, or my business page at Pearl underscore financial underscore LLC. And actually, what I was actually about to say, and a matter of fact, I'll talk to you about that when we get off the stream. But I definitely want to begin to add more content and things on our Bison Trading Show IG page. Being anybody who's familiar with IG, you know that IG I think only allows you two pages. So I have my business page and my personal page, and I want to create room so where I can have that Bison Trading Show page as well, like a third one, so we can add little snippets of our shows or add little things on there, so you guys can be up to tune on on every move that we make, because eventually we're going to make all of our announcements through that page. You may be able to catch it on our personal You might be able to catch it on our personal pages or our business pages, but we want to begin to migrate and make all communications through our Bison Trading IG page. That's where the hub will be to let you know if we cancel or if we weren't talking about anything specific, but we want that to be where you guys go to get any communication from the Bison Trading team. So with that said, man, I appreciate you guys for pushing up on us, man. Same time, same place next week, Tuesday, Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you already know Friday is 9:15, 9:20 a.m. And pretty much Friday is pretty much kind of like the Tuesday and Thursday levels put together. And we're actually putting our bread on the line, and we're going to see how it plays out. So trust me, Tuesday and Thursday is very, very important for Friday's trading session. Actually, it circles around that for the most part. You got anything to say, Ty?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So man, I appreciate y'all, man. So for anyone knows this page and know how we rock.